I am Aligeri Lingappa, Assistant Professor in Physics, Government Postgrad College, Sirguppa. Today's my chapter is a diffraction of light. So now I will discuss about the topic diffraction at a straight edge. We know that a diffraction, that means the phenomenon of bending of light around a sharp edged obstacle, so that which is based on the principle of superposition of waves. So then let S is a narrow or rectangular vertical slit illuminated by a monochromatic light, just as the diagram. Of a length lambda, OE is the straight edge as shown in the below diagram. O and S are parallel and perpendicular to the plane of the figure. XY is the screen placed at a distance B from the straight edge. Above C on the screen is the illuminated portion, and below C should be the darkness. But it will be seen that in a CX illuminated region, a few unequally spaced diffraction fringes are close to C, and in CY some illumination can be observed. Now you see a source of monochromatic light, yes, where a rectangular obstacle, sharp-edged obstacle OE, which is placed in the path of the beam of light. The diverging beam of light, so-called a cylindrical wavefront, is made to incident on the sharp-edged obstacle, say AB be the wavefront. Where a small a that indicates the distance between the source and the obstacle. When the wavefront incident on the obstacle source at point O, which undergoes the diffraction. So let here XY be the screen which is placed at a distance of B from the obstacle. That means a straight edge. Let C be the point. So parallel to the straight edge. So above the point C, the region is illuminated by the light. So below the point C, say the region of CO is the darkness. So dark region. When light which undergoes diffraction, then after that the diffracted rays, they are made to incident on the screen. In the region above point C, we will get the alternating unequally spaced fringes. That means in the field of V, we observed the unequally bright and dark fringes, that means above the point C, above the dark region. So such a field of V, that means the result obtained due to a diffraction of light at a straight edge. So diffraction fringes in the illuminated region. The intensity at any point P at a distance Y from C, where C is the center on the screen, is due to the entire upper half of the wavefront AB above O dash, and the effect of the exposed portion of the lower half. The amplitude at a point P due to the entire upper half of the wavefront, so which is equal to R1 by 2 So that means half of the wavelength, half of the amplitude. If the exposed portion O dash O of the lower half wavefront contains an half irradiance strip, the amplitude at P, so called, which is equal to R1 by 2 plus R1, which is equal to 3 R1 by 2, so called maximum. If the exposed portion O dash O of the lower half wavefront contains 2 half period strips, the amplitude at P, which is equal to R1 by 2 plus R1 minus R2, which is equal to 3 R1 by 2 minus R2. So that is the condition for minimum. So called the maximum and minimum, so which are obtained in this case. Hence we get a maximum at P if the lower half wavefront exposes 3, 5, 7, etc. of period strips, and a minimum at P if it contains even number of half period strips. As we move from C in the illuminated region, we get alternate maxima and minima forming diffraction fringes parallel to the edge of the obstacle. The amplitudes and hence the intensity of maxima keep on decreasing, and those of minima goes on increasing as we move away from C in the illuminated region. So what we see in the diagram, where the obstacle which is placed in the path of a cylindrical wavefront. So half of the region on the screen is called illuminated region. Then the remaining half is called darkness region. In the illuminated region, we get a alternating maxima and minima, such that forming a diffraction pattern, where the amplitudes and the intensity of the maxima goes on decreases from the center of the screen, so called from point C, but the intensity of the minima goes on increases from the point C. What about the fringes which are obtained on the illuminated, that means in the illuminated region on the screen? They are all of unequal widths, so called the diffraction pattern which obtain in the case of straight edge. When we move sufficiently away from C in the illuminated region, the lower half wavefront exposes all the effective of period strips, and the resultant amplitude at P, which is equal to R1 by 2 plus R1 by 2, which is equal to R1. So that is the intensity is equal to that of the completely exposed wavefront. And behind the diffraction fringes, there will be uniform illumination. So called the nature of the diffraction pattern which obtained at a straight edged obstacle when it is placed in the path of a cylindrical wavefront, or in the path of diverging beam of light, or in the path of monochromatic beam of light. The path difference between the waves starting from O to O dash and reaching P is PO minus PO dash. If this is odd multiple of lambda by 2, then P will be maximum, and if this is even multiple of lambda by 2, so then intensity at P will be minimum. So the path difference between the waves starting from O to O dash and reaching the point P is PO minus PO dash. If the path difference is odd multiple of lambda by 2, then P will be maximum. If the path difference between path difference between the waves is equal to E1 multiple of lambda by 2, then intensity at a point P will be minimum. So what we know that if PO minus PO dash, that means the path difference between PO and PO dash, if it is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, that means odd multiple of lambda by 2, then the point P on the screen will be maximum, where the intensity is maximum. If PO minus PO dash, which is equal to 2n lambda by 2, which is equal to n lambda, where P will be minimum, that means where the intensity is minimum. So that means the condition for maximum and condition for minimum in this case, so-called diffraction at a straight edged obstacle, where n which can take the values, so 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So from the diagram, let SO is equal to A, SO is equal to A, that means the distance between the obstacle and the source, and OC is equal to B, so the distance between the obstacle and the screen, and CP is equal to Y, the distance or the position of the point on the screen from the center C. So from the above diagram, we know that PO is equal to root of OC square plus CP square. So from the triangle POC, say PO is equal to root of OC square plus CP square, which is equal to B square plus Y square. PO is equal to B, where B which can be taken as the common factor. So then we will get 1 plus Y square by B square whole to the power of 1 by 2. So further, which can be done as B is equal, which is equal to B into 1 plus Y square by 2 B square. Then again, which can be done as, which is equal to B plus Y square by 2B, where PO which is equal to B plus Y square by 2B, let this is equation number 1. Then again from the triangle PO dash, yes, PO dash is equal to SP minus SO dash, root of SC square plus CP square. From the triangle PC, yes, then minus SO dash. So further, which is equal to A plus B whole square plus Y square minus A. So then A plus B, which can be taken as the common factor, so then we will get 1 plus Y square by A plus B whole square whole to the power of 1 by 2 minus A. So then further, which can be done as A plus B into 1 plus Y square by 2 A plus B whole square minus A. Then which is equal to B plus Y square by 2 A plus B. Let this is equation number 2. So from the equations 1 and 2, the path difference between PO and PO dash, PO minus PO dash, which is equal to Y square by 2B minus Y square by 2 into A plus B. So further, which is equal to A Y square plus B Y square minus B Y square by 2B into A plus B, where a plus B Y square minus B Y square, they get cancel each other. So further, the path difference between PO and PO dash, whatever there is, they will meet at a point P on the screen, which is equal to A Y square by 2B into A plus B. Let this is equation number 3. This gives for a maximum, so is given by, so for maximum intensity, which is given by A Y square by 2B into A plus B, which is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. We know that the condition for a maximum, so called odd multiple of lambda by 2, then the above equation equating to the 2n plus 1 lambda by 2 factor. So by rearranging, then we will get Y square is equal to 2B into A plus B into 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2A. Then further, the which can be done as Y1 is equal to root of B into A plus B into 2n plus 1 into lambda by A. Let this is equation number 4. This gives the distance of nth maximum from the center C. the condition for minimum is given by, so what we know that the path difference should be equal to E1 multiple of lambda by 2, so called 2n lambda by 2 or say L lambda. So above factor which can be equating to the factor n lambda, then we will get a y square by 2b into a plus b which is equal to n lambda. Then y1 is equal to root of 2b a plus b n lambda by a. Let this is equation number 5. So called the positions of the minimum in case of diffraction pattern. So the above equations, equation 4 and 5, they gives the positions of the maximum and minima from the center C. This gives the distance of nth minimum from the center C. From 4 and 5 we see that the distance between successive maxima and successive minima go on decreasing. This means that the spacing bright and dark fringes decreases as the order increases. So from the equations 4 and 5, so it is clear that the distance between successive maxima and minima goes on decreases. That means the spacing of bright and dark fringes decreases as the order increases, as the order of fringes increases as we move from the center of the screen. So intensity at the edge of the geometrical shadow. The pole of the wavefront with respect to C is O. The wavefront is divided into off-period strips with respect to C. As the lower half of the wavefront is completely blocked by the obstacle. The intensity at C is entirely due to the upper half of the wavefront, OA. Here OB is blocked. So because the obstacle opaque medium which does not allow the light to pass through it. The resultant amplitude at C is R1 by 2 and intensity at C is R1 square by 4, because we know that the expression for intensity I is equal to 2 pi square f square a square rho b. That means the intensity I is proportional to square of the amplitude. So intensity at a point C is R1 square by 4 because the amplitude at a point C is R1 by 2. So because only the intensity at a point C is due to only the half of the wavefront, so OA, because the other half of the wavefront OB is blocked. Then if it is 1/4 of the intensity, if the entire wavefront were be exposed. Intensity within the geometrical shadow. Let Q be a point within the geometrical shadow. The pole of the wavefront with respect to Q is O1. The lower half of the wavefront OB is completely blocked. And the portion O1O of the upper half is also blocked. Hence, the intensity at Q is due to only the upper portion OA of the wavefront. Let the wavefront be divided into off-period strips with respect to Q. If Q is such that O1, O cuts off only the first off-period strip, the amplitude at Q is equal to R2 minus R4 plus R4 minus R5 plus R minus O is equal to R2 by 2. As Q moves away into the geometrical shadow, past 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., half-period strips are successively blocked, so that the amplitude at Q becomes R 3 by 2, R4 by 2, R5 by 2, etc. Hence, intensity decreases rapidly at first and then slowly as we move from C inside the geometrical shadow. The distribution of intensity is so very less. As the point Q moves into the geometrical shadow, so from the center C on the screen, then 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. The half period strips are successively blocked as you move from point C towards geometrical shadow below the point C. Then a half period at a point C, which is given by R3 by 2, R4 by 2, R5 by 2, etc. So intensity goes on, decreases. That means intensity decreases rapidly at first, and then slowly as we move from C inside the geometrical shadow, the distribution of intensity is as shown in the diagram. So look here, this indicates that intensity versus illuminated region under geometrical shadow. So in the illuminated region, we will get the number of fringes. Initially the fringe at point C, the fringe width is more, the intensity is more. As you move from point C, so look there, the intensity goes on, decreases. Then the alternating maxima and minima which are formed in the illuminated region. But in case of geometrical shadow, initially we will get the number of fringes due to past 2/3 half period steps. Their intensity goes on, decreases. Say R2 by 2, R3 by 2, R4 by 2, R5 by 2, like that. The intensity initially decreases rapidly, and then it becomes dark as you move from point C towards a blocked region. So that means darkness region. So this graph which shows that the variation of intensity. So in this class we discussed about diffraction of light at a straight edge, then experimental arrangement, the procedure of the experiment, then the theoretical discussion, the condition for a maxima, the condition for a minima, and then the graphical representation of the variation of intensity of fringes in the illuminated region, in the geometrical shadow, in the darkness region, and so on. Thank you.